So I made a big decision. I'm completely getting out of investing in one particular state. Want to know why? Stay tuned. After that intro, you're probably wondering why I'm selling and in what state. Well, it's Michigan, and I'm selling every single property that I own there. But to be honest, I'd invest in Michigan again tomorrow. It's an amazing place to invest, and so I don't want this video to make you think that you shouldn't be investing in Michigan. I'm sure by this point in the video, you're a little bit confused because I started off by telling you that I'm gonna sell my entire portfolio, yet I also just told you that it's a great place to invest. So let me explain why. Every investor has their own set of goals and reason for investing, and where you start is not always where you finish. They evolve and change over time. Once I achieved financial freedom via real estate, I didn't stop investing in real estate, primarily, to be honest, because I'm addicted. There you go, I admitted it, I'm addicted to real estate, but there could be worse things to be addicted to. But after I achieved financial freedom, mainly through achieving my cash flow goals, I started to look at those other levers of real estate, in particular appreciation, because I wanted to look for some other markets where I could maybe garner a little bit more appreciation than some of those cash flow markets that I was in. Regardless of what lever or levers you're choosing to focus on to achieve your real estate investing goals, there comes a time when you have to make a decision. Are you gonna hold the property forever? Are you gonna sell the property and pay your taxes on it? Or are you gonna sell the property and 1031 exchange the property? Now for me, the next question is this particular property an emotional property for me? Do I have an emotional connection to it? Is it something that my family and I use and therefore I wanna keep it longer term, potentially forever? Or is it more of a financial property? Is it financially driven and therefore my evaluation of it is based on the financial benefit that it brings to me? If it's a financially driven property, well, then you start to ask yourself the question of what's my return on equity or my ROE? Do I stand to benefit greater if I sell this property and move that equity into another property that could produce better returns for me? And so I'm typically thinking about this on my properties that I've had for 5 or more years. I'm evaluating this every year. For me, I look at my equity versus cash flow. Now, cash flow isn't the bottom line for me anymore. I'm looking for a balance, and it really also depends on the market. I like to stay diversified, but I'm trying to see if I could take, again, that equity and roll it into another property that would give me a greater benefit. In the end, if I think I can achieve my financial goals better by selling a property and rolling that equity into another property, then I sell it. And that's exactly why I'm selling my properties in Michigan. And by the way, I'm selling them at a fair price that somebody can come in and have turnkey properties that will earn them revenue from day one. So it's really a win-win, but it's reached a point for me where it's time to move on and leverage that equity to buy something that will provide me greater financial gain. And I use this strategy for every property that I own that has a financially driven purpose. Depending on the market I'm in, after around 5 years of ownership, I start to evaluate the property to determine if it makes sense to keep the property or sell it. Typically because I buy properties and then I force appreciation through some form of renovation or update, I find that 5-year window works for me, but do whatever works best for you. This allows me to make sure that my money is always working as hard as possible for me. It doesn't mean that you have to adopt this strategy. Again, it's whatever works for you. All right, that's it for today's episode. If you want to help me out, and I'm serious, it does help me out, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you like the content I'm creating and you want to stay up to date on what comes out when it comes out, make sure you smash that subscribe button. All right, we'll see you on the next episode.